matter of minutes.
They're microwaving themselves.
Yes. So
for art, it's fun.
So, like these characters, sometimes, like you can see, our German Shepherd here, it has a little fan and is holding it up to his mouth that is helping to move airflow through the head. That is something a lot of fursuiters do. Fritzy is just kind of like doing it old school. Nothing. Oh, you got a fan in the head. You're cheating.
Poking yourself in the eye.
You're cheating. But yeah, there are some fursuits are built with fans in the heads. These are more mascot-y type suits. There are some realistic suits. There are some suits that are realistic. Does anybody know what the average cost of these might be?
Right over there. Let's go.
We're gonna go. Yes, you, sir. Around $9,000. You are not terribly far off for some makers. The average cost for a commissioned fursuit now in 2019 is $3,900 base.
Now here's my favorite. Who knows right now the suit that's holding the record?
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I will. That's the point of asking the question.
I believe, wasn't it somewhere in the range of 15 to 16 grand?
It's higher.
Yeah, you are thinking there was a time.
There was a time when the most expensive fursuit in the fandom was $12,000.
Oh, I'm thinking Cryo.
Yeah. There is a fursuit that took 2 years to build in Europe. It's in Germany. $23,000. It is animatronic. Its eyes and ears move. It can snarl. It has an animatronic tail. It is one of the most technically advanced non-film costumes on the planet.
So who here owns a car that costs less than that fursuit? Remember that this weekend when you have Cheeto dust on your hands and want to hug one of them.
So Fritzy here actually has a white tummy.
Oh, tummy.
And lots of cute things. And I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the fursuit name, the character name. I want to make sure. Alex. Okay, this is still Alex.
Some of us have multiple names.
Yeah, some of us have multiple characters. Alex is wearing a t-shirt over a bodysuit. But Fritzy is wearing a bodysuit that has white fur as a stomach on the tummy. If you have been eating Cheetos or Doritos or something that leaves residue on your hands and you come up and hug them, they are going to have a stain for the rest of the weekend. Unless they decide to go have this laundered. How many people think it's cute to pull a fursuiter's tail? I'm really glad nobody raised their hand.
Thank you, everyone.
Some fursuiters have tails that are on belts, and they actually poke through a hole in the back of the suit so that the tail can be washed separately from the bodysuit. They can be cleaned separately. However, there are fursuits where the tails are attached, and they have polyfill in them, or they have armatures in them, and they cannot be removed. They are laundered at the same time. When you pull on a tail like that, you run the risk of causing a rip. How many people think it would be really cool to have a $3,800 costume that you just got and have somebody pull on it and rip it so that you can't use it for the rest of the weekend?
It's like the best audience.
Yeah, nobody
has problems with these questions all the time.
The sad truth of the matter is this happens more than once at cons, especially cons that are large like Anthrocon and Midwest Fur Fest. There are people that get inebriated, they're not in the right frame of mind, or they are just super exuberant, or they're just dumb and they think it's going to be cute to pull a fursuiter's tail and they yank really, really hard, and if they don't hurt the fursuiter, because we're going to go over that in a minute, they actually damage the costume. And if it's brand new, Frisky's, in fact, is very new. He just got it in October, so it's brand new. First con for this suit. This is a brand new suit. Yes, as a premiere. If somebody were to damage this suit that Frisky has been trying to get for a year plus, I don't think he would be very happy. So again, you want to be very cautious of fursuiters. Now, yes. Now,
one of the reasons we brought them up is we wanted to show you guys some do's and don'ts.
So the first thing, before we show them a do and a don't, let's talk about their visual acuity.
Yes, that's one.
Yes. So Frisky, if you would,
you're in front of KP.
You come over here.
Stand right here. Look out to the audience.
What we are going to do is we are going to stand behind or in front, either way. Behind.
I got long arms, so I can do this.
Yes, we're going to stand behind them and we're going to put our fingers out. And what I'm going to ask the fursuiters to do, please raise your left and right paw When you can physically see our fingers in your field of vision, and this may shock a few people, okay, we're going to start.
These are perfect fursuits for this. Okay, go. Okay. Oh, Jesus. You got a great one. And now, so now you see right and left. I'm going to do this one because I'm tall enough to.
Top and bottom. Actually, I'll do the bottom on the German Shepherd. Frisky, keep those up just for a second because I want to illustrate a point. He's going to come from the top. I'm going to come from the bottom. I want you to see where they can see. Go ahead and go. You can. Okay, you can see the top.
Wow.
Okay.
That's great.
That's good.
All right.
Now
we have a window now.
Now you have a window.
Let's hold on. I want to see this one.
Okay, we're gonna do the same thing on Frisky.
These are my favorite fursuits. They're just murder boxes.
Okay. Again, your left paw for me and your right paw for Alkali.
Yes.
So right paw top, left paw bottom. Go.
Yay! Really quick. Did you see the bottom hand there for both of them? Right about here.
Right about the nose.
Right here.
Now.
What's down here? Children!
Actually, what else is down? What else is down here?
Toilets.
Trash cans.
Chairs.
Tables.
Curbs.
People that are leaving suitcases in the middle of the thing to go hug somebody that they just saw. Fursuiters have far more restricted range of vision than you might imagine. So not only are they dealing with heat and perspiration coming into their eyes, they have a very small window that they can see out of. So for them to see something down on the floor, they literally have to do this. That's the only way they can see. Can you imagine them walking around doing that? Now, for Alkali, who's really, really tall, it's really easy to see his face. But if Alkali is holding a drink right down here and approaching a fursuiter, and that drink just happens to be a Bloody Mary, what's going to happen if someone comes up to Frisky with a Bloody Mary and Frisky doesn't see it? He's going to look like somebody shot him. And that's not going to be very fun. No. So
see, but they can make it fun. And that's why Furry's amazing.
Yes, but then they'll go to their room, see the stain, and cry, and that's no fun. So one of the things, like I said, we do this so that people understand when we have rules in place because fursuiters can't see when they're in costume. They can't see as well. These mesh eyes, these eyes do have mesh. You're looking through something that could be like either nylon, like pantyhose type material would be made of, or it could be multi-celled foam, depending on who made it. So not only do they not be able to, can they not see, but in this tiny window, not only do they have perspiration dripping into their eyes, but imagine putting on 3 pairs of sunglasses and trying to look through those, and doing all of that at the same time. Fursuiters can get injured very easily, and it has happened, and it's very sad. People have picked them up and injured them.
Let's just put a ground rule right now. If you do not know the person intimately, please don't pick anyone up.
Yeah.
Ever at all. Somebody did that to me. I have a very bad back, and it
hurts.
It ended the con for me.
Yeah.
Uncle Kage has been injured at a convention by somebody hugging too hard.
Yes.
Guys, please let us live.
The other thing is, when you have a costume on like this, one of the beautiful things about the fandom is all of the physical traits, all of the things that create prejudices disappear because now you are a dog, you are a cat or a bird. The problem is, well, the problem with this is you don't know if the person inside is really male or female. You actually may not be able to tell just how high they are or where parts of their body are. And if you start trying to give someone a tummy rub and that suit is built a certain way, you're not rubbing a stomach. This happens. This causes complaints and people get in trouble for it. So please.
Fursuits blush.
Yeah. So you never want to touch people in a way that might actually create a situation when you didn't think it was going to. It might have been totally innocent, but you might create a problem. A fursuit is not consent. When you are in fursuit, when a person is in fursuit, ask permission to hug. It is not that hard. It takes 2 seconds. Hey, can I get a hug? Look at that. That was easy. Now, what happens if somebody goes to this suit and there is no visual acuity and they come running up from them to the side to jump on them and give them a surprise hug?
That is called a glomp in the anime fandom. I was a witness for a glomp at First Squared. If Fursuiter was standing near an interior window. A furry saw them from across the room. They recognized the suit from the internet, that horrible place. Ran out of the ballroom across the hallway, yelled, "Glump!" And that's when I turned around and watched him hit the window treatments and tear down all the blinds in the hotel that I had just paid $22,000 for. Wasn't a great day. Don't do that.
Come on, Frisky, let's
But
demo.
also, fursuiters have sustained injuries of dislocated knees, sprained backs,
Yes.
fractured arms, fractured ribs. A lot of people think everything within the fandom is a joke. And the truth of the matter is, when a person puts on a fursuit, they actually become a target for injury. You have to be very careful around them. And so that's why we have a lot of the rules that we do. The elevator rule is specifically when a fursuiter starts feeling a medical situation happening, they may go to the front of the line, but they don't want to take the head off because they don't want to let people know who they are. They might be trying to keep the character integrity intact. It could be that the person inside that suit really doesn't want you to know who they are for a reason. How many of you are aware that we have actually had members of Congress arrive in fursuit? How many of you are aware that we have had celebrities from Hollywood show up and stay completely anonymous for the entire weekend? Like people like Margaret Cho.
How many of you would do that for a weekend and just create a persona that you will never tell anybody that that's you?
There are people who come to furry conventions because of the anonymity of a fursuit. They get to actually be a person. They are no longer a celebrity. They are just one in the crowd. So there are reasons why they may run to the front of an elevator line and not take their head off. We respect that. So if someone goes, if a fursuiter goes up and wants to be at the head of the line, yep, they fan themselves. What is the signal for, could you take a picture? Or may I take a picture? They act like they have a camera. What is the signal for, I've got to go? Like, I need to go. All right, Frisky, if you were like, oh, I've got to be somewhere, I can't stay here, how would you signal it?
I think, okay, hold on. I think I see what you're asking. Here's one. If somebody was going in for a hug and for one reason or another you did not want it, how would you wave it off? That's what he's trying to do. I want to make sure everyone understands this right now. If you ever go to hug a fursuiter and they wave you off, I can almost guarantee you it has nothing to do with you. 130 degrees, large sweaty mammal inside of a carpet, they might just not want you to hug a sponge. Don't ever take offense to being waved off by a fursuit. It is not personal. They might just really want a glass of water. And
or
in the furry fandom, we say water first.
Yes. Also, there are some people who are aversive to touching. They do not want to be touched. It could be an OCD thing. They could have had some kind of a traumatic experience. They just don't, they want their personal space. Respect that, just the same way you would want your personal space respected. If a total stranger walked up to you and started saying, oh my God, can I give you a hug?
Wednesday.
Yeah. You may not want that. So again, we're going to respect that with suitors.
This one is...
I was going to say cameras.
Oh, well, we're still in the medical thing.
Yes.
This one is very important, and this one is a legal issue, so for just a moment. It is very common to see a fursuiter sitting in a chair in a hallway, just not moving. They might have the fan in their mouth or something, but they're probably just resting. It is 100% okay to approach that gentleman and say, are you okay? You are looking for one answer and one answer only, and that answer should be yes.
Yes, thumbs up. Thumbs up.
Anything that is a solid affirmative is fine. The reason being is, in the case of heat stroke, one of the first things to be affected is your ability to speak. If they give you gobbledygook, if anything comes out other than an affirmative, get a security officer or get somebody else to get a security officer. Do not remove the fursuit head or do anything but stay by their side and keep them talking. The security here is a trained group of people who know exactly what to do in these circumstances, including specific training in that incident, in heat stroke care. There is a lot that can go wrong if you remove a fursuit head, and also that becomes a liability. Not necessarily for you, just a general liability. It is a bad idea. Send somebody, get security. If no one is around whatsoever, find the nearest person, have them get security, and return to the fursuiter and just keep talking.
Yep.
Security
I'm
will
gonna
be there quickly.
I'm just gonna let them sit down because they are getting a little warm.
So sorry, guys.
That's okay. So you guys, thanks everybody. Big round of applause for some of our fursuiters. Thank you, Alex. I'll come and hang out with you guys later. I'll hang out with you guys later. Yay. Now, there's one other thing about fursuits.